right. National Senator Ross Clennell joins me now. Ross Clennell, thanks for your time. Barnaby Joyce says he's coming for Farah. They're scoping out candidates. The popular Helen Dalton's one of them. Are you quaking in your boots there on behalf of the coalition?
Not quaking so much, but it's the way democracy works. Helen Dalton's a fabulous, strong state member down there. If she goes with One Nation, who are polling really well, it'll be a challenge. Don't pretend anything else. We don't hold the seat. The Liberals have held the seat. One member of ours held it for a while, Tim Fish, a great patriarch of our family, party. But it's going to be hard. We're going down there because you can't be a party of the regions if you don't run for a seat like Farah. We've opened nominations, so it's on. Democracy will have its way.
He's hurting you, Barnaby, isn't he? I mean, you look at someone like him and his profile versus your leader, David Littleprouds. That's got to hurt you. That's got to be part of the reason the vote's going from you to One Nation at the moment, doesn't it?
Look, I think traditionally the Nats have needed one of two things. They've needed big personalities or big policies. And with Barnaby, we had big personalities, but he was a leader that took us into net zero. He was a leader that did all sorts of things like that, so we can't walk away from that. With David, we've got the nuclear policy up. We had the net zero policy that Matt and I get through recently. We have the only 5 policies who were in the previous opposition playbook because the Nats did that. We're working on answers in the National Party, and yep, Barnaby's got a bigger personality, but our playbook is full on policies, and we're looking forward to talking about answers, not whinges. How
do you feel about the Angus Taylor change the Liberals have made? What effect will it have? How will he be different to Susan Lee?
I always like to be honest with you, and I think the relationship will just be healthier. I'm aware that David's gone and have a meal with him already, with Angus, since he's been elected. They're getting on really well. It's an important thing to have that respect and relationship. It started off better. I think you'll see just a better way of getting on. I don't think that we kicked off horribly with Susan, let's be honest about it. There was a bit of push me. She was going through a lot with her mother passing away. It was a lot of stress at that beginning, didn't work well, and I just don't think we ever recovered. Here is a chance for a reset. We will grab that and we'll get on with it.
Is David Littleproud safe as Nationals leader, do you think, or do you think he needs to own that schmozzle like Susan Lee did?
No, I think he's safe as. I mean, one of the reasons we got into this situation is that he went with the party room. The party room all had their say. We had to say that we're going to walk over the trench and walk into the vote that we do together. We had to say he gave it to the room to back down and get things back together. The room backs him because he backs us. That's all you can have in a situation like leader. There are always people that think they can do it better. There's always people that say that they might be different, but it's not the most of the room. The most of the room respect the process, they've respected the outcomes, and that'll continue to go forward because that's the most important thing.
Do you expect to be back on the front bench, remembering the Nats have been suspended at the moment till March 1 earlier? Because my information is Angus Taylor in the next day, perhaps, or two, probably tomorrow, will announce his front bench, that the Nats will be in the same positions that they were previously. Only the Libs will be changing. And I just wonder if you believe you might be a front bencher sooner than that March 1 target that David Littleproud and Susan Lee agreed to.
No idea. Haven't got a phone call on that. Don't know. If I am, I'd love to be. I've got stakeholders on pause. We're going to have the Northern Basin Toolkit for water handed out shortly, and we haven't got a shadow water minister. We've got fishing policy in Western Australia. The strange thing is we're going to have potentially an EU trade deal next week, and we haven't got a shadow trade minister at the moment. So if we are back, that'd be great. But equally, we're going to keep talking to people. We'll be out there in, another 2.5 weeks or something like that, according to my watch, and we'll be back there sooner or later.
How important is a solid policy on immigration to winning the base back, winning some One Nation vote? What do you make of that idea Cameron Redden's put out there today that John O'Doniham was working on for Susan Lee about banning people from certain regions in certain countries?
Yeah, look, I've been out a bit today and I haven't gone into that in detail, but I've certainly seen it's been put there. Never came to shadow cabinet unless it came to the last 2 meetings when I was benched, so I haven't been able to look at it in detail. But you've got to have a policy that, like, if you view it like your home out there, Andrew, you only invite people in your home you want and you need and you respect. So, there might be friends, there might be guests, there might be someone coming to an electrician fix something, things that contribute to your home. If you take someone into your home and they start threatening your family, your kids, your wife, if you have people who start trying to tell you things should change, rearranging your furniture, you kick them out of your home pretty quickly. And we need a policy like that. Why should Australia be treated differently than you treat people in your home? So if we have a policy that says, you know, we don't want these people because they'll try and do these things or these, and they aren't countries, they're regions we're talking about, but there's always got to be exceptions. You've got to be able to have people from these regions that, you know, for the right reasons. But your country should be like your home. You take the people that come there, that you want there, that contribute there, that make you feel comfortable and want to you know, work with your people, keep your family safe and that. And if we treat Australia any differently than a home, it is wrong. We only want the people to contribute, people who can work, like you mentioned, the visa workers. Australia is so much better that they come here. They're actually increasing our productivity, which we need right now. But equally, we just don't want these numbers. You know, everyone talks about the cost of housing and buying a house. Forget that. People don't come here with enough money to buy a house. They come here with enough money to rent a house. So all the young people in that 40, 50 people line who are in line for that rental are competing with people who come here. That's where we've got to say, get young people in housing that way.
All right, we've got 20 seconds left. What else needs to change policy-wise to get that One Nation vote back?
We just have had some answers. Let's be honest. Forget whether it was a woman or a leader or anything about Susan. 9 months, 8 months in opposition, no policies. We have to get some answers out there because people like to hear the whinges of One Nation, but they've got to hear the answers. We are parties of government. We will put answers on the table and that's how we get them back.
Ross Clennell, thanks so much for your time.